Manx Radio's Countryside is brought to you by NFU Mutual.
Hello and welcome to Countryside here on Manx Radio. I'm Simon Clark.
And I'm Kirree. Last week I went along to the annual Christmas Primestock Show at Isle of Man Meets, and I also popped along on Saturday to the Honey Show in St John's.
And it's coming to the end of Mhellia season. I went along to speak to one of the people who've been involved in auctioneering for many years at Ayre United Football Club. Well, Kirree, first of all, a bit of a change in the weather, a bit of couth out, so obviously people with livestock are going to be a little bit wary. It's getting to that worrying time for them, is it?
This is it. It's gone very cold, and as you see, the countryside has sort of changed from a shade of lovely rich green to quite a white hazy colour there now, and a lot more tractors will be about now feeding cattle outside or even bringing livestock indoors, so there'll be maybe some mud on the road in the next few weeks coming as that transition happens.
Yeah, and it's, people moan, but there isn't much you can do. Is the tractors are in and out. They've got to get feed into them, and it's a lot of the time it's the only way they can do it. Absolutely.
Here on the island, it's not so bad. The people in the countryside are very good to cooperate and understand that it is a livestock island after all. But very important that the cattle get fed this time of year. The demands from the cold weather will be quite high. But many now have got the new sheds put up this last sort of 10, 20 years because the winters are quite wet now. So to save the mud trail and out on the roads, but like you say, some of the stuff still being taken in from the fields.
Well, we heard on last week's programme, Kirree, very interesting it was indeed, the first day of the livestock show.
That's right, the Christmas Primestock Show, always a really, really nice event at this time of year, held there at Ayre by the Southern District Agricultural Show. And the second part of the show is held at Isle of Man Meets on a Thursday afternoon. And I popped along to see who the winners were this week. Well, Trevor Quirk, congratulations again, yet another winner. How do you feel?
Happy.
Well, some work has gone into it this year, Trevor. You had plenty of cattle there at Ayre for the competition this year.
It's the first time I put halters on them. It was challenging, but I got there in the end.
But the success from Monday shone through again tonight at Isle of Man Meets, coming away with champion and reserve. That's no mean feat.
No, I don't know what to say really, just really happy.
What genetics were these that came through this time? Because obviously you're doing something right.
I've got a good commercial cow, and then I'm running a Limousin Blue on some of them, and some of them are artificially inseminated to Belgian Blue. The champion today was off my own Limousin Blue bull.
Brilliant, yeah. And that must be quite special, a homebred one.
He is a good bull. It's probably the best bull I've ever had, but hopefully I'll have more as well in the future because he won't live forever.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's only a short period in time, but like you say, you like good cattle, you like good sheep. This is something you just do every day of your life.
Yeah, this is what I was born into, so I don't know anything else. So
this is it. But what's it feel like having the whole family here tonight, receiving all of these trophies?
Yeah. I don't know. It's good.
But what work goes into getting them cattle to where they are? Because obviously, it's all well and good raising a beast, but you've got to get it fat, ready for market.
There's a lot of work goes into getting cattle ready. A lot of work goes into fattening the cattle, getting the timings right, the diets right. We've got lots of different shapes and sizes at home, and they're all on different rations to try and even out their growth. The continental breeds are on a lower protein than the native breeds. We sort of manage it that way and jiggle things about, and we get there.
Yeah. And do you rather the continental cattle over the native types?
Yeah, I breed Salers at home, but I love Limousins. That's my passion.
Yeah, this is it. But obviously coming away with this here now, Trevor, you're doing it right, like I say. So do you do anything in the summer shows?
No, it's too much work.
Too much work considering you had 5 cattle there the other night, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's just the wrong time of year in the summer. That's the problem.
This is it. But, well, a huge congratulations. Well done, Trevor.
Thank you.
Well, Katie Watterson, I caught up with you in the first part of the show, a champion, and again tonight, another champion. That is a huge success. Well done.
Thank you, yeah.
How does it feel?
Great to double win. double champion. It's just awesome, and a big well done to everyone as well.
This is it, isn't it? And plus, your own team, they're all here tonight, support, and all smiles all round.
Yeah. My uncle Rob, my nana Jake, my cousin Abby, and Grandad has been in on it as well. He's taught me for the past 2 months how to do everything.
And like you say, Alan Rothwell, we all know him, a true stockman and no stranger of huge success, especially in the summer shows. And now this last 3 years, I think you've been the champions, haven't you?
Yeah. It's been great. I've loved it. I've loved coming. I've been to every single one. It's been great. It's been a huge success as well.
And there tonight, standing in the fridges, looking at all of the other competition around you, and yours there with the biggest rosettes on. That just must be the icing on a cake after, was it 12, 14 weeks worth of work?
Yeah. We were looking after them, we were trimming them, we were keeping them on a diet, weighing them. Everything's just been hard work. And a big thanks to my granddad as well, because he's just been a star.
He really, really has. Well, that is the icing on the cake. You've got arms full of trophies there now, Katie, and there's some polishing this summer.
Yeah. Keep them shiny.
Well, Jake Fair, congratulations, Young Farmers Champion. A 2-part process this year.
Yeah, 2 parts. So we do the live on the Monday at the Mart, and then the carcasses here on the Thursday.
You enjoy the judging?
Yeah, it's probably one of the best bits of Young Farmers, in my opinion. I like getting out on farm and seeing what stock's out and about and just judging them generally.
And tonight, the judge's comment there must have been something special, to have the cattle the right way around in the class, but to 100%, that was brilliant.
Yeah, I only started doing the carcasses last year, so to win it in the second year is quite nice. It's not something I ever thought I'd do amazingly in, so...
No, absolutely huge congratulations there, Jake. But also other successes you've been involved with, the Rothwell family that have done the double this year again with their Beltex lambs, and you've been at home helping with them.
Yeah, so Alan's been a great person to learn from this year. I was down helping trimming the lambs. Didn't finish them off, and it was just a rough one from me, but it was brilliant to learn, and he's been amazing to learn off for the shows.
But those skills passed down from a stockman like that is a born winner, it's a stiff learning curve for you.
Yeah, definitely there was a lot of pressure, not wanting to ruin anything, and being allowed to do it in the first place was amazing, so yeah.
But to see the family smiling there tonight, it's a lot of months of work goes into these stock.
Yeah, so he's looking at them as baby lambs, wondering if they're going to be ready for the Primestock Show and what he's going to be picking out, so it's not a short process, and it's really good to see them doing well in it too.
Yeah. So like KD Watterson there going home tonight with silverware, you two jingling away, that is one huge trophy, some great names on there, Jake.
Yeah, definitely following in some good people's footsteps, some good stockmen on there, so very happy.
There we go, some champions again from Katie Watterson, the Rothwell family there from Foxdale, taking the champion pair of lambs and also the single lamb, followed in reserve place by Sarah Cooley from Ballasalla. The champion and reserve beef champion went to Trevor Quirk from their farm there out on the Peel Coast Road. And Jake Fair from the Southern Young Farmers took first in the Young Farmers stock judging, with Hannah Moore second and Nathan Meelan third, and the junior winner Kaylee Devereaux taking that honours. And a fantastic event held by Isle of Man Meats, bringing a judge over from the UK with Adrian Crowe from the Meat and Livestock Commission, giving some really, really good feedback on the stock.
Yes, great to hear that, and still as popular as ever. And you can tell by Trevor, how overwhelmed he was by how much it means winning things like that.
This is it there. They're humble people just getting on with what they do day in, day out on the farm. A true farmer there. It was lovely seeing him with the 2 children and wife Anna in Isle of Man Meats, and so proud with the silverware. But what a lineup of top-end stock there was. And like Adrian says there, some of that stock would stand up anywhere in the UK in their competitions.
Well, we've had plenty of Mhellias around the Isle of Man over the recent months, and still seem to be as popular as ever, with the likes of Boosh Carouche, Michael Taggart, Michael Kelly now joining the gang, auctioneering them, and some been doing it for many, many years. Well, I popped along to Ayre United Football Clubhouse on Saturday evening, where they were holding their Mhellia, and Michael Taggart was on the mic with Michael Kelly, and also I spoke to Stephen Easthope from Ayre United. Firstly, Michael, it's Coming to the end of the season now, but no less enthusiastic crowds.
Yeah, still at it, Simon. Yeah, there's a few Mhellias still to do at the minute. We're here at the Ayre United Mhellia. We've been doing it for a few years now. I think it was 2008 we came here, but we were doing it at the Grosvenor pub before that. It'll be a toss-up between the Ayre United team or the Northern Young Farmers, who got their Mhellia in first.
Now, it's not just here you do, yourself, Bruce Cruz, Michael Kelly, that we all sort of go round in the gang here, and you all got your patches, but occasionally you all get together.
Yeah, we try to, because it makes it a long night if you're selling all night yourself. I feel sorry for Peter Quayle when he's got to sell all them cattle at the marts. But when we come to do the Mhellias of a pub, it can get so loud and you just get tired, you know, and trying to remember who's bidding on what, and it spreads it around, and it's better for the people as well, because they're not listening to one person droning on all night.
You're getting a bit of assistance with the feet, with your patter, sort of fitting in nicely.
We're away with it now. Yeah, they're getting a few sherbets on board, and as I said, Ayre United here, they had a good win today over Colby. Not that we're rubbing it in on them, so. 4-3, I think the score was at the final score, so they're doing a bit of celebrating.
Yeah, but the season itself for Mhellias, I mean, has it gone as well as ever?
Oh yeah, certainly. There's a lot of money being raised. I probably think that the Mhellias overall have probably raised, on average, sort of 3,000 at each Mhellia. Certainly, I've done a lot of Mhellias. I was with at the railway in Union Mills. They had a Mhellia for hospice, and it's through Marty Down, you know, and that was, I think, 8,000, if I
really
comes to mind.
Yeah. One night.
One night, yeah. So, but a lot of the Mhellias, as I said, 3,000-4,000, no problem. Did one for Anne Crane in Ramsey for Ronald McDonald House. That was over 4,000. Nearly 5,000 as far as I know. So yeah.
Plenty of items always for auction, and some rare and bizarre ones today. A few draining rods have gone there, and bits and pieces. The Ayre United hats and a wig, which unfortunately I was well outbid for that one.
Yeah, you didn't stick in on that, Simon. I was thinking with cold nights you could get a hot cold without a wig and a hat. But you go to a lot of the Mhellias, and we always have the Bonnigs. They always sell well, but you get all sorts of things to sell at a Mhellia. As I said, you just said, a set of drain rods. We try and sell them, have a bit of fun. I can't tell you how I was describing them on the radio with it being at prime time. But yeah, it gets a bit crude at times. Well, not crude. It's how you see it.
You're still enjoying it though?
Oh yeah, great fun.
Yeah. Well, of course, Michael Kelly, you're probably not done as many Mhellias as Bruce and Taggart here, but enjoy doing it, obviously.
Yeah, it's all good fun. I think I enjoy every one I do. I'm not quite as clued up as Michael and Bruce is on it, but no, it's a good night, it's good fun.
But it's all experiences and confidence the more you do. I know I've done a few Mhellias in the years, but finding the time to do it. But people do sort of get to know who's selling what. They can understand you. Some are going, what's Michael selling there? And some are going, well, it doesn't matter.
It's one of them. Yeah, it's good for your confidence, and they're good nights, to be fair. Good teachers. Good teachers. I got out to Bruce, and especially Michael Taggart as well.
And you sort of get used to how much a Bonnig will raise, how much a bag of spuds will raise, or does it vary from Mhellia to Mhellia?
They sort of, they do vary a bit, but there's not much in it. I think the old Bonnig always sells well, to be fair.
What's the sort of most exhilarating thing that you've had to sell, or the one that gave you most satisfaction?
Oh, good question. Good question. You sell that much, I couldn't remember, to be honest.
Yeah. No combine harvesters, or all second-hand tractors that farmers are sick of.
No, nothing like that.
But you're doing a good job and raising lots of money, so well done.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you.
Well, let's get a word with Stephen Easthope. You're one of the directors here at Ayre United. I was here a month or so ago for the race night, which was a cracking night. Great support. Even when you weren't top of the league, now you are. Still got that support here.
We've always had great support here, Simon. We're a country club, and we have these fundraising events, and they are always successful. They're very well supported, and this Mhellia tonight is just an example of a gathering, and it's great fun.
Yeah, well, I played Ayre United. I used to come to the training when I was a young fella, cycle all the way from Derby. I wouldn't get a lift when they first had the floodlights put in on the training pitch. The under-14s, but didn't play much after that. But it brings back a lot of memories, and the new addition to the clubhouse here, how it changed. It's a perfect room for events like this as well.
Well, I've been involved in the football club since I was a teenager, and I'm seeing the youth coming through year after year after year, and it just goes on, and it's just great for this community.
And the setting in Andreas is always a nice one, isn't it? I suppose we're so used to it, but clubs even coming from further afield always say it's a lovely atmosphere when you come down to Ayre United. Great support still. Even the people that played 30 or 40 years ago are still coming down to support.
Well, exactly. I'm one of them. I'm still involved with.
Maybe not 30 or 40, Stephen.
Well, maybe not as fun. No. Well, it feels like it sometimes, Simon. Believe me. But yes, it's a friendly club, and I think we've always had that reputation. We've always welcomed those from all over the island, and long may it continue. I'm sure it will.
Yeah, and the one thing about the club that we should mention as well, over the years when we were there was the same sort of ladies that were doing the tea and the soup. You've got a good crowd of women behind you as well.
Yeah, we the girls, like you mentioned, they've been involved for a long time, and Lee, my partner, she's the secretary, she's a treasurer, she helps, she's behind the bar tonight, she makes the teas at half time during the football, and she's been involved in it all for a long time, and it does take up a lot of her time running the club as well, and she enjoys it. I support her, and it's good.
Well, long may Ayre United continue. Been going a long time now, Easty.
A long time, yeah. But I would just like to say the Mhellia tonight that we're having is a success, mainly down to Michael Taggart, Michael Kelly, who's come on board recently, and it's the reason why everybody comes together for this great night, and it's one of our main fundraising events of the year. And again, it's long may that continue.
Stephen Easthope from Ayre United, one of the directors, also Michael Kelly, one of the auctioneers, and Michael Taggart, the auctioneer on the night for the Ayre United one. And just praising on the night because, a really good crowd that was at Ayre United. You could tell by the way they were talking there, the enthusiasm there, the crazy bidding that they're raising money for the charities and their own club, of course. And Michael there reiterating the fact you don't need to buy most of your things on computers and things like that. There's loads and loads of stuff available on the Isle of Man which we should support, and so it was great to hear that.
There really is some absolutely fantastic local produce outlets, whether they be farm shops or even Mhellias, like they say. The donations that people give in are just fantastic. Homemade cakes, jams, you name it, vouchers for here, there and everywhere. But the boys giving up their evenings to go around the island, being the auctioneer, they must be absolutely hoarse after some of those events, shouting over all the people.
They sort of are unsung heroes, but many, many, many thousands of pounds raised for local charities during that event. So well done to everyone involved in that. And I was even outbid for the wig.
Oh, no.
You're listening to Countryside here on Manx Radio with Kirree Kermode and myself, Simon Clark. Well, there was a bit of honey on offer at the Mhellia, but you've seen a lot more of it than I did.
I certainly did, Simon, there in St John's Hall at the 72nd Annual Beekeepers Convention and Exhibition Show. And what a fantastic array. And I caught up with Gary and Susan Clewett during their judging on the night. Well, Gary Clewett, you have the hardest job in the room. I know your dear wife is doing a great job of her section, but all of these jars of honey, they all need testing.
Unfortunately, yes. The annual assault on my taste buds.
Oh, wow.
No, actually, it's not that bad. There's some very good entries and some interesting varieties. It's good to see there are actually more entries. I think they said there might be more entries than we've ever had, but it's certainly more than last year.
That is absolutely fantastic. Credit to everybody.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And so far, I know you're down to class number 10 here now. Some of those jars look absolutely wonderful. The one that really has just taken my eye is the rich, creamy looking one. It looks a bit different.
I believe that's rapeseed.
Is it?
Yes.
Ah, okay. So that's certainly changed the colour
Yes.
and texture.
Yeah, typically it's that colour, but it's a very, very smooth, very, very tiny little crystals, and so it's very smooth and very pleasant.
And so far, do you have a favourite?
Not yet.
Not yet. And
Couldn't tell you if I did.
and would you know when there's an ultimate one that just tastes a little bit different from all of the others?
Yes.
It stands out.
Yes.
Yeah. 'Cause
Generally, it'll come down to maybe 2, possibly 3. I think last year there was no brainer. It was 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Our standout winner, yeah.
Which is always interesting because they're very similar in a lot of respects. There's not huge differences.
And I guess the Isle of Man's only a small place, so you'd
Well,
wonder how they could vary too much, wouldn't
That's
you?
right. Yeah, they there's a sort of fairly limited physical area with much the same forage. So many of the bees are sipping the same nectar. So you'd expect them to be somewhat similar, but things like clarity, how clear the honey is. Some honeys you can see are a lot fresher. Some have sat in the comb for much longer, so they tend to go a bit darker. Although colour is not reflective of the length thing. It's colours depends again what they're foraging on.
Yeah.
So.
And going on further into the classes, you have 3 or 4 jars. They've all got to be the same from one entrant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can they still vary, even though they look quite similar?
They're not supposed to.
Right.
And I will, generally, I'm not going to taste all three. If they look exactly the same, and basically the same colour, same clarity and things like that, then it's sort of a moot point. But every now and then you come across ones where you've got a couple of jars and they are quite different.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, this next class, you'll see this is from the same apiary, but it's 3 different.
And they are very different.
Yeah, well, and they're meant to be.
Yeah, that is quite something, isn't it? Yeah.
That's actually really interesting to see them that different from same beekeeper. They may be from completely different parts of the island.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's the umbrella of these
Again,
things.
it's all down to what they're feeding on.
Yeah, and obviously you've travelled a little bit in your time. How does it differentiate from home, our Isle of Man honey, and back where you're from?
Well, I'm back from the UK, but originally, but I was most recently in the United States, in Washington State, and there typically we have huge varieties of flavours in honey, just because of it's a big agricultural state with a lot of monocrops, so you get a lot of varietal honeys, and they taste exceedingly different. And it's just because of the area and the variety of vegetation and things, you get quite distinct and different tastes.
Yeah, yeah. And with it being sunnier, are they more generally different from here? Because we have very, very strict 4 seasons, don't we, in a way?
Yeah. Well, we had. I don't know about 4 seasons, but we certainly had one very long winter.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention the winter.
Yeah, where you don't get much of anything. You're basically just resting to keep your bees alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, the climate's very. And depends. For example, in Washington State, the west of the state, along the Pacific Ocean, the climate and vegetation, everything is completely different from the eastern side, where the eastern side is sort of high desert and a lot hotter, much hotter in summer and much colder in winter.
I see. Yeah.
And that again affects the things. But Washington's a huge fruit growing area too, so there's a lot of different varieties that you get just based out of coming out of the orchards, which are all very large.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, I better let you get back to your judging. This is no mean feat by any stretch, and good luck. Well, Gwen Kelly, you're always not too far away from these honey and beekeeping events. A big show tonight, Gwen.
Yes, we've got lots of entries this year. There's everything from mead, candles to honey and cakes. So we've got a lot of entries here tonight.
And it is really lovely, isn't it? The whole hall is decorated with produce. It must have been a bumpy year.
Some beekeepers have had a very good year. Yes, and lots of honey of all different types.
And you're saying different types. There's many classes here tonight, Gwen.
Yes, there's about a dozen classes of different honeys. We've got the light, medium, dark honey. We've got crystallised honey. We've got chunk honey. We've got soft set honey. We've got heather honey. We've got heather blend honey. Something for everybody.
There really is. And Gary there is judging away tonight, a man with lots of knowledge about the different types of honey. But you'd never think they'd vary so much, but they do, don't they?
They vary from hive to hive in the same apiary. Depends where the bees have found pollen and nectar to gather from.
The heather honey would be a lot more sort of rich, would it?
No, heather honey is thixotropic, means it's gel-like. You cannot extract heather honey with an extractor.
Okay.
It has to be pressed out of the cells, and then if you look at it, it's like a jelly. Tastes very nice, though.
I could imagine.
We have it from Laxey. It's one of our main beekeepers lives in Laxey, and he's got lots of honey in here tonight.
Yeah, no, that's really lovely. And some of the more golden see-through ones, they'd be different again?
Oh yes, that we don't know. Never too sure where we get the light honey from, but it's beautiful honey.
It really is. I wouldn't like Gary's job at all, but his good lady Susan is here with us tonight too. Gwen, she's judging the other sections. Susan, how have you found it tonight?
There have been some lovely entries. I have tasted some very nice cakes and biscuits, and especially some nice jams. So there have been a lot of very good entries tonight.
And this is it. I'm looking at some of the cake entries there. The recipes had to include honey.
Yes, that's for the cakes. I thought the jams had to include honey, but Gwen says no, they don't require that the jams are made with honey, because it is much more difficult to make a jam with honey. It's harder to get them to set.
I see. And obviously now the results are sort of kept under the hat till tomorrow. But when this radio programme goes out, it will be after the event. So what has your favourite been tonight, Susan?
Oh, I don't think I can pick a favourite. there was nothing bad. It was sometimes difficult to choose between, because there was nothing bad entered.
Yeah. And Gwen, what would be your personal favourite? I know you enter many things in these competitions, in the summer shows and these kind of shows now. What do you particularly like?
The Greek honey drizzle cake was absolutely delicious.
Really?
Yes.
That sounds really good.
It is very good. I didn't make one myself, but we've tested 3 of them, and they're all very nice.
Yeah, and that is it, having that little bit of difference, isn't it? And I suppose we'd be partial to a ginger cake. Would it be quite similar?
No ginger, with cinnamon in it.
Oh, right.
And then the honey and sugar and water are boiled and then poured over like a lemon drizzle cake, with using honey.
Yeah, my word. And what about the mead? There seems to be quite a strong entrance in this class. I do believe it's quite a popular one.
Yes, it's there's about 10 entries there this year, and all from different producers. So.
And how would they go about making that? Because obviously it's a bit more tricky, isn't it?
It is. I've never actually made mead, but if you have honey that's fermented, that's the start of it, and you let the honey and add it to water and let it ferment, and then add yeasts.
Yeah, it's essentially like making beer with honey instead of hops or whatever.
Yeah, and it would take quite a long process, Susan.
We've made it in the past, but I honestly can't remember. I think it's several months.
Yeah, my word. And out of these lovely pieces behind us, Susan, the waxworks, they are absolutely stunning. A few soaps and lotions.
The soaps, I have so far only tried the polishes, which are lovely, but yes, I do like the beeswax lotions and things. They're usually very nice.
But they have such good health benefits, don't they? Honey is so underrated.
So, yes, they do. They are supposed to be better for your skin and better for your body, so yes.
And how does our British honey hold up against, or Manx honey, should we say, against the Manuka honey? It has, very, very popular and sort of like the medicinal side of things.
Manx honey, they have tested British honey, and it's just as good as Manuka honey.
Excellent.
Yeah, the Manuka is really, it's a flavour.
It's a flavour.
It's a flavour. Eucalyptus honey is one of my favourites, made from eucalyptus flowers, and it's a very strong flavoured honey.
Yeah,
and a lot of people who have not grown up with it do not like it at all. And honey that's made from buckwheat flowers, I think is absolutely foul, but there are people who love it.
Yeah.
It's another one that's very, very strong flavoured.
Yeah.
To me, it tastes like old tobacco. But
really, as
yes.
strong as that? Wow.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to believe these little creatures can travel so far and gather and
do
just
such different things.
Yeah, and change it around.
And the same bee, if they collect from a different plant the next time, will make a completely different honey.
Wow.
It's not that the same bee makes the same honey every time. It's what they collected the nectar from that makes the honey.
Jeez, this is so impressive. And without them, well, the world would be certainly a different place, Gwen.
Certainly would be, yes.
Absolutely. Well, I better let you ladies get back to the judging. And I think we've got a great show here, haven't we?
We have. We've got honey there from 8 new beekeepers. This is the first time that they've actually exhibited. So
wow.
We'll see tomorrow who's...
That is just fantastic, isn't it? And especially with COVID and all of the situations we've had, maybe a little bit of time at home has realised that these kind of jobs, whatever you want to call it, are just so enjoyable. Great hobbies to be involved with.
Certainly is.
And how can they get involved, again, Gwen?
If you contact we've got a website, Isle of Man Beekeepers Federation. You can log on to that. We have a course that's starting in January, but there's 45 people enrolled on it already, and so we've had to close the books because we can only take that many. So just
keep getting in touch, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that just shows people are showing a real interest in basics and nature and wildlife again.
They certainly are.
Yeah.
Yep. Lots of new beekeepers, so which is good.
That was Gary and Susan Cluett there, the judges for the Honey Show this year, and Gwen Kelly, a very popular person within the beekeepers' conventions.
Yeah, good to hear about the mead there. And there was a whisky sort of honey mead that went for quite a considerable amount at the Mhellia as well. So very popular.
Absolutely. So it's very strong, and it does whisk away the sore throats or anything as well. It's got that medicinal ability. So there's a good excuse for a tipple.
It certainly is. But getting near Christmas now, and we'll be finding out some bits and pieces from what's available and what's going to be happening over the Christmas. So if you've got anything to plug, let Kirree or myself know. Leave a message at Manx Radio or email countryside@manxradio.com. Or you can download the podcast for free where you can hear the interviews in full. And we're back next Tuesday at 6. So see you then. From me, Simon Clark.
And me, Kirree Kermode.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.